Hi, my name is Zoey Luna. I'm 13 years old and I'm transgender.
Hi, my name is Ofelia Barba, and I'm Zoe's mom. I have 3 children. Well, they're not children anymore, but they're children. They're my kids. Letty, I'm proud of that she is so smart. She is super witty. She's quick. Man, that kid is super quick. Sometimes I feel like if I need protection or someone to defend me with good words, I could call upon her. And I'm extremely proud of her. You're gonna make me cry. My son, I'm very proud of him too. He's gone through some really rough times, but I still have a lot of hope for him. But I love him. I love him a lot. And Zoe, I'm super proud of her. That kid is like super strong. I don't know anybody else stronger than her, and she makes me that strong. She was little, maybe 4, 5. Yeah. But even before then, she was already presenting. I mean, she was already expressing it, you know? I mean, so much so that her preschool was the one that said, there's something wrong. You know, you need to take her to therapy. So, yeah. So, this was something that was constant, and it's continued to be that way. There has not been any change.
She was always supportive. Since I was little, she always knew that I was, different, if that makes sense. She never really told me I couldn't do anything in my life.
When she came out and she told me, I'm a girl, and I told her, okay, well, we're gonna try to figure this out, okay? So I never told her, oh crap, what's wrong? I never broke out and fell apart. I just said, okay. It's like acknowledging the information that she was giving me and saying, we're gonna figure it out. So there was never like going back. There was like moving forward.
I was very afraid of what my mom was gonna think. At the beginning, it was mainly, I only really cared about what my mom thought. If my friends didn't like me because of, me being trans, like, oh well, I have my mom. Like, I feel like I love the support that everyone else gives me, and I'm very honored and very happy and thankful that I have that support, because at the end of the day, it makes me feel really confident. But in the beginning, it was mainly just that if I had my mom's support, I knew I could do anything.
Do I see that she looks up at me? I think she does. I see that when she talks about how strong she is and about how she has so much support. So I know that she does see me as somebody that's pretty cool sometimes, yeah. Within the mom kind of thing, right? Because it changes when you're a teenager.
If my mom was accepting, I wouldn't be here today. I feel like I would have committed suicide or attempted and probably failed, because I don't know. I feel like I want to say that I would have committed suicide, but I definitely think that I have too much hope. So I don't know where that comes from, but I know, I've always known, like, things are not going to be the best right now, but, they're going to get better soon, no matter what. Even if I had to wait till I was 18 and left that house, I would have left, and I would have just said, bye, I'm going to go be who I am.
There were points in her life, and just me, from the outside looking in, that were kind of tough for her. And there were occasions where I wasn't sure how she was handling it. But I do believe that she knew that she was going to get to do what she's doing now at some point. So maybe that's where she says I had a purpose. Because we've had conversations where she's thought that I wasn't there with her, that I didn't understand what was happening to her. So she thought that she was going to have to grow up, be 18, and run away from home and transition on her own. But that was never the case at all.
people ask me, oh, so what's your sexuality because you're transgender? I'm like, what does this have to do with me being transgender? Like, it's a valid question, you know, but like, since I'm transgender doesn't mean that I'm gonna have a specific sexuality. Like, if, let's say, I turn into a girl, does that mean I'm gonna necessarily have to like boys? No, I could be a lesbian transgender girl. Or if there's a boy that's turning, or if there's a girl that's turning into a boy, and you know, he could be a gay transgender man. That's how it would work.
I'm learning as I'm going because I didn't know a lot of things either, and I couldn't understand gender and sexuality at some point because I was ignorant to how that worked out. Funny that I didn't know, but it's true. I think it was one of my brothers that we talked about the situation, and he said, well, you know, you understand that it has nothing to do with sexuality, it's gender. And that was my aha moment.
Because usually the first question I get from like friends that I talk to that are like not my friends anymore are like, so do you have the thing still, or are you gonna chop it off yet? And it's just like, why would you ask me about my genitals? Like, what does that have to do with me being your friend? It really frustrates me because it's like, I don't want this here. Like, it wasn't my fault that I had that. Like, I was born in the wrong body. But like, at the same time, I usually never tell them that because it's like, you know, if you're already starting off as saying you're not gay, then you're probably most likely not going to understand. And also, why should I be wasting my time if you can't understand who I am? And if you don't ask me first.
Yeah, it's something that should be taught. Like, somebody should say that. You know, like when I work in a pediatric clinic and I get the charts and stuff, and I work with a lot of the newborns. And instead of saying gender, it says sex. If we started there, maybe then we wouldn't have this confusion. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's how I see it. Instead of saying, what's the sex of the baby? No, the baby doesn't have sex. It's a gender. I don't know if she's experienced it. I have. Other people, older people would tell me things. Adults, friends. Even the well-meaning friends will question, well, are you know, how do you feel about it? Was it okay to do it? At the beginning, when you hear those questions, when you're fresh out and coming out, because even I had to come out, right, with her, people don't understand that. And so they ask you these questions and you're like trying to apologize for being supportive. You're trying to make it soft and pretty and, oh, well, this. And you try to get clinical and explain it. And then after a while, you're like, you know what? This is what it is. And that's just that. And I ain't got nothing to say to you after that. I'm sorry that you don't understand it, but this is who my child is. And that's it. So you learn.
My dad was the typical, you know. So he's very conservative, and he was very like, you know, male this, manliness, construction, woodwork, you know, stuff like that. Like, you need to be drawing, if you're going to be drawing, don't draw, you know, pretty little princesses, draw blueprints and stuff like that. So I always get a hard time with them because they never want to, you know, it was like, wait, but if you're a boy, why can't you just be a man? Like, why do you have to be a chica? Like, why do you have to be that way? You could be a man. You could just be gay. Like, why don't you just do that? And I'm just like, why do I need your advice? Like, this is me, not you.
That's my fault. Because, and it scares me sometimes because it's my fault that she's like that. The reason is because I always told her every single day, you can do anything you want to do, and there's no one that can tell you any different. You can be who you are, and no one can tell you any different. So I think that little motto or that little word every day, that conversation that we have before dropping her off at school has really worked. And sometimes it's worked against me, but it's worked a lot. I'm extremely proud of her. But she is 14. She's still a young woman. And so, you know, but she's very strong, and that's a good thing. You know, when I watch her walk, because I'll watch her because I like to see who's looking at her, you know, because I'm mom. I see the way she walks. She walks straight. She doesn't hunch. She doesn't look down. That is self-confidence. She carries herself. I'm extremely proud of her for doing that. but it also scares the hell out of me because there are people out there that confidence and that way she feels about herself, they don't like that. They don't like that. And what are they going to do? They're going to try to undermine it by asking her, are you sure you know what you're doing? Did your mom put you up to this? You know, those kind of things scare me all the time, because I don't want anybody to make her feel that she doesn't know what she's doing. This is not an easy thing. People don't understand that. A lot of people say, oh, well, why'd you let your kid do this? Why'd you let your kid act this way? I didn't let anybody do anything. This person is who she is, and she's been constant since she could express and speak. So who am I as a human being to stop her? Yes, I'm afraid. Of course, I'm terrified. But why would I want to diminish or kill somebody's spirit? When I would let her go see her dad's family, I would almost be like on top of her. So if you go and they tell you this, you tell them no. If they ask you why you're doing this, you don't have to answer. So I would, like, instead of her going, like, having fun and sending her off in the right way, I was like sending her out in a battle kind of way, like ready to attack. And that's not cool, you know, but it is our truth. That's how it is right now for us.
Was there anything we didn't get to say that you wanted to say?
I just want to tell the main purpose that I do this, because I don't want to always be visible. It's kind of scary because she is a teenager and she has to walk home and stuff. I just want to say that hopefully there's another mom or dad out there that if they're in this situation, to just try and work it out, figure it out. There's so many programs out. There's so much information now. There's so many parents like me. I'm not the only one. There are so many parents like me that are doing the same thing that I am. They're giving their children the opportunity to be who they are and be happy and just be successful individuals, because that's all we want. We just want our kids to grow up. So hopefully there's someone out there that can relate in some way and find help for their kids and for themselves. It's not easy, and it's not going to get easy, but it's going to take time and just work at it. That's basically what I wish that everybody would understand. Yeah.